The only thing that I see that is distinctly different about me is I'm not afraid to die on a treadmill. You might have more talent than me, you might be smarter than me, you might be sexier than me, you might be all of those things. You got it on me in 9 categories. But if we get on the treadmill together, right, there's 2 things. You're getting off first, or I'm going to die. It's really that simple.
No, I don't think you want any help. I think you want to have a little pity party. Oh. Yeah, I think Annie wants a little pity party. Is that what you want? Ow! You're an asshole, Annie.
Oh my God, what are you doing?
You're an asshole. I'm life, huh? Oh. Life bothering you?
Yes,
that's I'm life,
what are you
Annie.
doing?
I'm life, Annie.
Oh,
no.
What are you doing?
Fight
What are you,
life.
Megan?
You better learn to fight, because life will. Yeah? Life is gonna. I'm life, and I'm gonna bite you in the ass.
Ow! Ow!
It's not me. I'm your life. Turn over.
God!
I'm trying to get you to fight for your shitty life, and you won't do it. You just won't do it. You stop slapping yourself. Stop slapping yourself. I'm your life, Annie. I'm your shitty life. Oh. Sorry. Nice hit. All right. I'm glad to see you got a little bit of spark in you.
You ain't gonna believe this. Well, you used to fit right here. I'd hold you up and say to your mother, this kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching you every day. It was like a privilege. Then the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. All right?
All right.
You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
If there's one thing that your viewers, if there's one thing that you can actually get from all this, one distinction, it's that no matter what happened to you in your past, you are not your past. You are the resources and capabilities you glean from it. You are not your past. You are the resources and capabilities you glean from it. And that is the basis for all change. Because the worse your life is, if you've survived the worst of the worst, if you've made the biggest mistakes and are still breathing, then you can learn from that, and that builds muscle. How do you build, when you go to the gym to build muscles in your arms, what do? You don't push against lightweight, you gotta push against extraordinary weight to get to failure. And that's why you learn more from failure, you go stronger from failure than from success. Ask any successful person, and they will tell you they failed 5 or 10 times.
So many of us choose our path out of fear disguised as practicality. What we really want seems impossibly out of reach and ridiculous to expect, so we never dare to ask the universe for it. I'm saying I'm the proof that you can ask the universe for it. My father could have been a great comedian, but he didn't believe that that was possible for him. And so he made a conservative choice. Instead, he got a safe job as an accountant, and when I was 12 years old, he was let go from that safe job, and our family had to do whatever we could to survive. I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at what you don't want, So you might as well take a chance on doing what you love.
So that's the original apartment.
Which one?
Second floor. Wow.
I've never been here. You never brought the kids back?
I miss my mom. I'll never forget, it was so hard because we had so little, but my mom was so proud of this apartment. Oh, what a great country. I could come here and live here and get to where I am. You know, that's why on the show I have no patience for people that show up and complain.
I gotta tell you, just a piece of advice. People always tell you it's about who you know, it's about your connections, and granted, if you have that, it's easier, but it's also a load of crap. All it means is you just gotta work harder.
And I said, don't ever complain. This country's a great place. You really can be anything you want.
You become what you think about most, but you also attract what you think about most.
If you see it in here, you're going to hold it here.
And that principle can be summed up in 3 simple words. Thoughts become things.
And so if you're thinking that thought over and over and over again, or if you're imagining in your mind, okay, having that brand new car, having the money that you need, building that company, finding your soulmate, if you imagine what that looks like, you're emitting that frequency on a consistent basis.
Thoughts are sending out that magnetic signal that is drawing the parallel back to you.
See yourself living in abundance, and you will attract it.
The law of attraction doesn't care whether you perceive something to be good or bad, or whether you don't want it or whether you do want it. It's responding to your thoughts. So if you're sitting there looking at a mountain of debt, feeling terrible about it, that's the signal you're putting out to the universe.
So you want to become aware of your thoughts, you want to choose your thoughts carefully, and you want to have fun with this, because you are the masterpiece of your own life. You are the Michelangelo of your own life. The David that you are sculpting is you.
The emotions are this incredible gift that we have to let us know what we're attracting.
Think about it. You have good feelings and you have bad feelings. And you know the difference between the two because one makes you feel good and the other makes you feel bad. It's the depression, it's the guilt, it's the resentment, the anger. It's those feelings that don't make you feel empowered. Those are the bad feelings.
On another level, it's called bad frequency or bad vibes or whatever you want to call it.
The flip side to that is that you have good emotions, good feelings, and you know when they come because they make you feel good. Excitement, joy, gratitude, love. Imagine if we can feel that way every day. When you celebrate the good feelings, you'll draw to you more good feelings and things that make you feel good.
And a genie always says one thing.
Your wish is my command.
There is a creative process, a 3-step process, and it's been around for 2,000 years. The first step is to ask. Make a command to the universe. Step 2 is believe. Believe that it's already yours. Have what I love to call unwavering faith. Step 3, and the final step in the process, is to receive. Begin to feel wonderful about it. Feel the way you will feel once it arrives. Feel it now.
You used to go up on Mulholland Drive and park
every night.
and visualize seeing yourself as...
Yeah, I would visualize,
This is when you were broke and poor.
You know, right. I would visualize things coming to me that I wanted or whatever.
This was in like 1987, 85?
Yeah.
And
I had nothing at that time, so it was like, but it just made me feel better. It made me, at that time, all it really was for me was
kind of making me feel better. I would drive home and think, well, I do have these things, and they're out there. I just don't have a hold of them yet, but they're out there.
Like there's a redemptive power that making a choice has, you know, rather than feeling like you're at effect to all the things that are happening. Make a choice. Like you just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. And then from that point, the universe is going to get out your way. It's like it's water. It wants to move and go around stuff, you know. So for me, I want to represent possibilities. I want to represent the idea that you really can make what you want.
What does it take to successfully create a lasting change in your life? To not only have a New Year's resolution you follow through on, but really have a lasting change? Well, the first step for lasting change is very much like making a New Year's resolution. Fundamentally, it's the same. The first step is you got to have a vision. Having something so exciting, so attractive, something you desire so much that you have a hard time going to sleep at night and you get so up early in the morning to rock it and take it to the next level. And also, along with that compelling vision, you got to have strong enough reasons that you're going to follow through when the going gets tough. There's a part of your brain called the reticular activating system. For short, we call it the RAS. That part of your brain determines what you notice in the world. And it's really important because when you set a goal, when you get really clear on a vision, and there's strong enough reasons, and you review it enough, and it becomes a part of you, that part of your brain says, anything that relates to this, I need to notice. Whatever people have their identity attached to, they live. We live who we believe we are. That's just how it works. I talked to Michael Jordan, I'll never forget, at the peak of his career, and got to watch his final game, saw him backstage and spent some time with him, and it was a pretty exciting time. He was the greatest basketball player I think that ever lived and has ever lived. And I asked him, I said, you know, what sets you apart, Michael? You know, what is it? And is it God-given talent, ability, skill? What is it? And he said, Tony, you know, he said, I can shoot you straight, and you know it's not, you know, me trying to act humble. He goes, I have a lot of talent, a lot of God-given talent, a lot of skill. I've worked really hard. But he said, really, it's my standards. He said, every day I demand more from myself than anybody else could humanly expect. I'm not competing with somebody else. I'm competing with what I'm capable of. Magic formula. Because most of us lower our standards. Why? Because who you spend time with, my friends, is who you become. Number one, write down what your life is like in that area right now as specifically as possible. So you might say, well, I'm 13.5 pounds overweight, you know, whatever the weight is, whatever the situation is, or my body fat's like this, or I wake up exhausted in the morning, and you write the truth of where you are right now. And then the second step is, and this is where you got to be really honest with yourself. What are the rituals that have put me there? Because whatever results you're getting, even if you don't like the results, there's some rituals that are keeping you in that place. There's some rituals of what you eat or don't eat, how you move or don't move, how you sleep or don't sleep. There's some rituals in the lack of variety or spice or energy or focus in an area. What do you want? What's your vision? And be really specific. I want to be my fighting weight. I want to be the strongest I've ever felt. I'm going to turn my, whatever it is, be specific. And then, last step, number 4, what are the rituals that'll get you there? What would you need to do differently each morning if you're going to be that kind of energy, that kind of strength? How often would you work out? What days would you work out? What time? A ritual is something you do consistently, usually at a specific time, so it becomes automatic.
When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And you will find so much power, so much passion, and so much internal fortitude from your past if you have a destination, meaning a vision, something you truly believe in, that you desire, not a goal. You know, goals are like buzzwords for failure. Every asshole has a goal, and they're mostly full of crap.
Yeah.
Now, you need goals, but it's not enough, because goals get abandoned, but the vision remains. 4 things. Number 1 is the ability to create a vision. The second thing is your state management. 3rd is your beliefs. The 4th is your strategies. And the last thing, which is it's just the glue that holds everything together, that's your standards.
Yeah.
Of where you want to live, like what you will not settle for less than.
Yeah.
And that's, in the end, you know, some people's standards, they have to pay all their bills, so they pay all their bills.
Yeah.
Others have to pay some of the bills, so they pay some of their bills. Others have to pay everyone's bills, and they do that.
Yeah.
Okay, your standards is your musts in life. And you need, the first thing I say to people, my brokers, I raise their standards. They would not settle for average.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, there's different. What you have to do to be comfortable in this world, and what you got to be rich in this world, two entirely different things.